Solution video for the exam Paris. Question 1. Change the slide size for all slides in this presentation to widescreen. So I'm starting from the solution file. So if this were your file, then I would check design and slide size, but I don't even need to do that because I can see already that it's widescreen. Next question. One slide with a full screen picture of Paris. Paris City of Lights needs to be in a highly transparent box on the slide. The color of the text needs to be matched to a color in the picture, and I need an arrow to point to the color that you picked. And when clicking the picture in presentation mode, it should direct you to this website, and you put the slide after this question slide. So this is the sample solution. So I do a few checks here so I can see that there's a transparent box. For the color, I will put my insertion point in the text and I will check here. So if you picked any of these colors, then you haven't picked a color from the picture. So I need to see a recent color here, or see at least that a color's been picked somewhere and that it's not from the standard colors, and I check whether it matches your arrow. There is no arrow in the solution file, so I check that. Then I look at your picture. So I first check if it's been cropped, because most pictures are not the same size as your slide. If it's not been cropped, then I get a little bit suspicious, and then I do right-click format picture. Suspicious in the sense that the picture might have been drawn out of proportion. So I reset the picture. I reset it, and then I drag. And if I can see, if it was not cropped, my picture was cropped, and it goes over the slide size, then I know that you've changed the height width proportion and did something like this. So, and that obviously is not allowed. So I check if it's a good quality picture. And then I check whether, so I hover over the picture and I can see whether or not it directs to the right website. So in total 4 marks. If this doesn't look professional, so if Paris City of Lights is too small, which was the case in many of your exams, if it doesn't look attractive or professional at all, then you lose marks over this. Next question. A theoretical question. The advantages of using presenter view, any disadvantages? So there were 2 marks for the disadvantages, 1 for the advantage. So for the 2 marks, yes, for disadvantage, 1 for advantage. So what I needed to hear is for advantages, at least 2 of these. You know, you can see the next slide and see your notes. And then the disadvantages, I needed to see that external links open on your laptop and not on the projector screen, because the screen is extended. So this was not absolutely necessary, but the disadvantage that your external links do not open on your projection screen automatically, that was what I was looking for. Question 4. So you want to tell your audience of potential visitors of Paris, like 41.4 million tourists visited Paris. So I needed you to create a slide with a picture and text to illustrate this, and to create a blueprint with a suitable name for that slide, so that you can make similar slides with statements like that about Paris, and use that blueprint for it. So in this solution file, I picked a high quality picture. So obviously the same applies to this question. If this picture was pixeled, or was of bad quality, or if there was a watermark in it, which is even worse, then you would have probably lost all marks for this, because that's unforgivable in a professional presentation. So I do the same check with this picture. So I first check, has it been cropped or not? If it's not been cropped, then I check whether or not it's been drawn out of proportion. And then what I was looking for, obviously, is that you have large text and no bullets and not more text than needed. So this is your key message, 41.4. So you could have just had 41.4. You could have had 41.4 million or 41.4 million visitors, 2019. So these are all valid options. Many students had a picture to the right and then text to the left, small text to the left, or even worse, many pictures to the right and then text to the left. So this was all not accurate and not what you learned in the PowerPoint course. Question 5, change the color of all titles in the presentation to this color. And then I check your slide master. And this title in the actual mother should have been changed. So if you change it only in one of the layouts, that was not correct. Just to go back one step here, it also said a suitable name. Suitable name means something like full screen picture plus text. If you have any reference to Paris or Paris visitors, even worse, in the name, then you do not understand what the master is about. So there should be no content in the master. Even if in the titles of the slides, there is no point in having Paris or visitors in it, because you will be using it for different slides with different context. Next, the picture on the next slide does not fit the slide, and the blueprint does not suit the content. So as you know, as was explained in our course material, blueprint refers to layout, but I don't use the word layout in the exam like I warned you about, because that would give away part of the answer. Yeah? So blueprint means, what does that mean? I would have to look up a definition. It means like the basis for future slides. It's a specific layout, a specific order of elements that you put in a layout that you can use for future slides. So what is the name of this blueprint? What is the name of this layout? In the solution, I can't check this anymore, but I can go to the start file and show it to you. So in the start file, what you needed to do was right click and then see what the name of the layout was, which is title and content. Strangely enough, very few people got this right. I don't really understand why that is. So the correct answer was title and content, which you'd be awarded 1 mark for that. So you needed to change to the correct blueprint, and if necessary, cut the picture and place it in the placeholder. So you needed a blueprint, a layout with a placeholder. So in this solution file, so I would do this check in your file. The full screen picture plus text would do. Yeah? So my full screen picture has a full screen picture and then text, very large text in the middle, which you can still modify per slide, but this is just the basis that I would start from. So you could have used that one, or you could have created another one with only full screen picture. To do this, you also needed to crop this picture. So if there was no cropping, then you drew it out of proportion. So those were all the steps. I also check if there is no placeholder, because if there is a placeholder, you did not put the picture in the placeholder. Next step. Create a blueprint, again a layout with a suitable name for media content. So as you learned, the background for this should be black. In case the video turns out not to be full screen, then black looks like there's nothing on a screen, whereas white looks not as professional. And you had to use this blueprint for a YouTube video introducing the city of Paris. Some people, very few, but some people downloaded this using 4K downloader, but that was not the question. The question was actually to link to a YouTube video. So I created a layout with a black background and a placeholder for media. So I'll show you in the master. So as you know, you insert a layout and make sure that everything is gone. Also the footer. You insert a placeholder for media, make it full screen, and then make sure that you have a black background. So let's go to the background. Here it is, black background. So I'm just going to delete this now, and obviously give it a suitable name. In this case, fairly easy, just media. Okay. So, and then I will just delete this for a second to show you, and I'm just going to copy this link, Control C. What you can't do is click this, because then you can only insert a video from your computer. So what you need to do is click on the placeholder, insert video, online video, you enter the URL, and there it is. And in this case, it went full screen. So this is what I checked. Next step, question 8, another theoretical question. So why are the video trimming options not showing here? So when you go to video, well, they are showing, but they're all grayed out. The question is why? And the answer is because you can't trim online videos, because you're linking to the video. It's not the actual video that is it's not in the actual PowerPoint. So they are not available for videos, for online videos. They are only available for videos inserted from my PC. Some people wrote here that you first needed to download it with 4K downloaded. That's not correct. You can choose however you want to download it, or you can just have a video from your computer. But what tool you need to download it was not relevant in this question. So the only thing I needed was only available for videos inserted from my PC. If that was in there, you got at least 1 mark. If you added that it needed to be downloaded with 4K downloader, you would have at least lost 1 mark for that. And then the final question was delete all non-used blueprints. For that, I go to your master to check if there are no unused layouts. So I hover over them and I see this one is being used, 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 and this one is being used. So 1 mark given.